Hi, this is Esther Tanez with Karen Yankovich. Our guest for today, a LinkedIn evangelist is what you call yourself.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be chatting about some of the important things, especially when it comes to LinkedIn. As you all know, LinkedIn is a resume, public resume.
Some people think of it that way.
What else?
Yeah, I think it's more than that. I think it's where, we are all digital marketers now. If you have a website or an email address, you're a digital marketer, right? And if you're a digital marketer, you have a digital personal brand, and that's where it lives. It really starts with your LinkedIn profile, because that's what's going to come up first when somebody throws your name in a search engine. It's where you tell the world what you want them to know about you. So yeah, it's resume-ish, but more than that, it's where our personal brand lives.
Wow. So as you know, whether you're a professional, whether you own a business, if you're in sales, this is crucial to have a great LinkedIn page that allows people to search you, find you. You never know. There's companies searching for great talent, and if you do it right, you might be the lucky person being found to work with a great organization. Or you can target some of the clients. And today we're going to be talking about, with Karen, some of these things, the benefits of LinkedIn, how to do it well, how to target, be effective. But first, Karen, tell me about you.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So I am, I help small businesses and entrepreneurs use social media profitably. We all have these amazing, powerful tools at our beck and call at almost no cost. In many cases, at no cost, right? But it's often hard to know exactly how to use them. So I like to teach people how to use them so that they get business, so they get clients from it, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're doing this, you are, you're opening yourself up to digital marketing, like I said. So a few years ago, I've always been in sales and IT, but more geeky, techie stuff. And I took some courses in online marketing and really loved it. And people started coming to me and saying, how did you know how to do this? How do you have so many Facebook fans? So I people literally were giving me money to do it for them. So I shifted my business and started doing more online marketing. And it's an ever evolving market. I'm constantly learning. I'm never surprised when somebody says, did you hear that? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, really? No, but I'll check it out for you, right? Because it changes every minute.
Wow.
So that's fun for me. And it's fun for me to help people strategize with it and use these tools, especially small business owners, right? That are struggling with marketing budgets. Oh. How to use these tools so that they can get their clients and really stand out from the crowd. It's really all about top of mind, right? So that's what I've done. And I've had a few different, things over the years, different things. For a while, I had an agency where I actually was doing the work for people. I've kind of landed now more doing mostly strategy and helping people with the strategy, because I think that's what my sweet spot is. And that's what I want you and everybody else to understand is, if you find your sweet spot, that's what we can promote. That's what we can amplify using these tools. So that's kind of how I got to what I'm doing now.
Fantastic. So I took a class with you at the Princeton Chambers Women's event, which is phenomenal. You can't miss it next year.
It was phenomenal.
Oh my God. What was it? Over 700 women?
It was insane. Yeah, it was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was tons of women, such great energy.
Fantastic.
Fabulous job.
So here we are, and we're taking the class, and you hit some great points. You talked about how do you label yourself, that title you give yourself when you're putting in your name in LinkedIn, and you said some key things. You want to share with them? Yep.
So when you're setting up your LinkedIn profile, whether you're looking for a job or business or a client, or you own a business or you work for a business or you're a business professional, it doesn't matter. You can set your LinkedIn profile up so people can find you. And that's what you said in the beginning, Esther. And that work happens up front. And once it's done, it's done. Yeah. You can tweak it as things change, because it's an ever evolving world, right? But it's done. So think about, what are people searching for that you want to come up as the search result, right? So if you're looking for a job, what are people searching for that you want to be considered for that job? If you're looking for clients, same kind of thing. And use those words in that headline. And what happens when you create your profile, that first experience, that title of that first experience will auto-populate as your headline. But no, you don't want that to be your headline, right? You've got lots of characters. Google reads that headline. So you want to use every single character that you can in that headline and and use those words. Those are your keywords. Use those words as many times as you can authentically, right? You don't want to just be like shoving words in where they don't belong, but take time on that. Because once you've taken the time on that, and it's a little bit like what we used to refer to as our elevator pitch, but it's much more than that. It's not just that anymore. Who you are, who you help, and how you help them using those keywords. And I know that's a lot for that little tiny section, but that's a really important section because that is the first thing people are going to see. It's what Google's going to show if your name comes up. And, I hope you all know that no one's hiring you or for a job or, they want to be your client without doing some online research on you.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
Yes.
We don't buy a paperclip anymore without, looking for reviews on it. So they're doing this. Give them what you want them to know about you. And it starts with that headline.
Now, you said something really interesting because you say you should blow your own horn.
Yes.
You should. I know a lot of people are uncomfortable, men and women, especially us women. We're not comfortable in just saying what we're really good at. So you had mentioned that you put yourself as, in your title,
I don't even remember. An expert. I use the word expert. I use the word, like successful.
Yeah.
I use the word, and you want to you don't want to make stuff up, but it's okay to be a little, how they say dress for the job you want, not the job you have. So same thing with LinkedIn. If you've done one keynote speech and it's been to your kids' PTA, there was 12 little kids in the room, you're a keynote speaker. And that's what I want you to say, right? You want to position yourself the way you want to be seen. Authentically, but really grabbing onto the things that you've done really well. And, I know that you've done things really well, and maybe you know that, and Esther, you're right, it's us women that have a hard time saying it, right? It's women that have a hard time, we just say, oh, I got it, I can handle this for you.
Yeah.
You got to tell people how good you are, because think about it, if you were looking for people, right? If you're looking to hire somebody, and there's two people, and one says, yeah, I can do this job, and the other one says, I'm an expert. I've done this for 20 years. I've won all these awards. Nobody's better at this than me. Who are you going to call first?
Absolutely.
Right? So it starts with you. You have to portray that brand. If you need some help, if we're connected, let me know. And I'm sure I'm happy to give you some, confidence there. But I often say too, like if it's easy, you probably haven't gone strong enough.
Right.
You really want to get to the point where you're like, can I really say that about myself? And that's the spot that I want you at. That's where I want you at.
After taking her class, you offered this 21-day challenge, and I followed as much as I could, and I was starting to change things around because I want to be known as an expert, commercial expert in our agency, and I love doing small business, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even have commercial on my tag. I didn't even have it on my list, so that was important. Then you went on to the body and you talked about experiences, but you said to not write it like a resume. Yeah. You said to be, what will be the benefit for the person reading it? Can you give us an example?
So your LinkedIn profile is about you. It's not about your business. It's about you and your expertise in your business. Mm-hmm. However, you want to put it in the minds of the people that you want to attract. So, for example, I can say I'm a big deal. I'm the CEO of my company. I have, 150,000 Twitter followers and blah, blah. Nobody that wants to hire me cares about any of that. Right. What they care about is what I can do for them. Mm-hmm. So you want to write your profile in a way that it's client facing. You want to say things like, I've helped, 2,000 women, or in your case, I've helped, 200 small businesses in New Jersey, or 2,000 small businesses in New Jersey, grow their, I don't know. You're gonna have to go there. But you get what I'm saying, right? You want to make it about them. I help, if you're a financial planner, I help women over 50 create a retirement plan that allows them to travel the world, right? So you're telling, it's about you, but it's really about me, right? It's results based from what I'm doing. So that's kind of how I want you to think about this. Make it client facing, and write the whole thing first. I don't want you to be worried about this every step of the way, but when you're done, take a look at it and say, how can I shift this around to make it more client-facing, to make it more about the people I want to attract than it is about what a big deal I am?
Yes. So, kind of blow your horn a little bit on the top on what you do, what you're an expert at. But when it comes to the contents, basically you're saying, talk about the benefit for the client. All of us that are in sales, we know that we need to talk about to the client what they're looking for. How can I be of help for you? What are the benefits of working together?
Yep.
So as a small business expert, we work with top carriers that when you have a problem, and you will have a problem eventually, the insurance company is going to be there to restore you and put you back in business. So some of those things that, whatever you do. But now, let's say you're a professional looking for work, right? You've worked in the pharma, or you've worked in the law field, or you've worked, and now you're looking for employment, and you have all these experiences. Should they also present it in a way where a boss or a recruiter?
Yes. You want to say, I have sold $10 million in, voicemail systems, if that's what you're selling, right? I have saved, if you work in finance, I have, saved, or if you're bookkeeping, I have saved, I save an average of, clients that work with me save an average of 50% on their, recurring expenses, whatever. You want to make it, talk about your successes. You know what they are, right? Talk about your successes. And that's what the prospective employers are going to want to see. They're going to want to see the successes that you've had. So brag about them. And it isn't bragging, it's owning it, by the way. Yeah, yes. Right? Just own that stuff. Own it and share it and talk about all the amazing things you've done for the companies that you've worked for over the years. And add it all in if you have to. Add it all up. Make it a big fat number. Make it legit, but add it all up.
Yeah, make sure that you attract that. All business owners are looking for not only talent, but someone that's self-driven, someone that has the ability to contribute to your organization. So talk about what you can contribute instead of just saying, I worked at such company from this year to that year.
I know Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. Not only that, I want you to not use all the industry buzzwords. I actually just saw a LinkedIn profile just this morning from somebody, and all I saw was the first words, and it was, I am a results-driven professional. I was just like, oh, you know what I mean? Like it instantly made me just like, right, exactly. Tell me what the results are that you get, right? I want you to show me that you're results driven. Don't tell me that you're results driven,
that's a good
right?
one. That's a
right.
Good one.
So show me, don't tell me.
So now we talked about the small business owner who's trying to attract clients, and we talked about the professional who's trying to get out there and be known and attract those employment or even expand their footprint by selling more of their product. Now let's talk about target audience.
Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite topics because you know what? When I first started teaching LinkedIn, I was like, I don't connect with people, they connect with me. Like that was smart, right? Like why, I wasn't doing anything to really grow a targeted network. Now I am so passionate about growing a network that's targeted. And what I mean by that is think about what you're doing, not tomorrow, maybe in the next 2 to 6 months. So what's happening, like today it's December, right? So what's happening between February and June in your business, in your life? And what would make whatever's happening in that 4-month period highly successful? Like what would blow it out of the water? Who are the people you need to be connected with now that will blow that out of the water, and start connecting with them now? And the reason I say 2 to 6 months is you don't want to connect with them on Tuesday and then pitch them on Wednesday. You don't want to pitch them ever, but you want to give it some time to develop a relationship. That's right? And you also don't want to go too far out because things change. Even when you write business plans, even anything beyond 6 months is a little, it's going to get adjusted, right? So what are you doing in the next 2 to 6 months? And then come up with a search on LinkedIn that will bring you up a whole list of those people. And then start to connect with them. And you don't want to say, I'm reaching out to you because I think you're an ideal client for me. Like you totally don't want to say that.
No.
You want to say, I just came across your name here on LinkedIn, your profile here on LinkedIn, and they don't have to know because I specifically targeted you, right? I just came across your profile here on LinkedIn, and I love being connected to other insurance professionals, local business, whatever it is that, like, personalize it to some degree, but make it in a way that you can copy and paste. Right? So you've got a whole list, go in and connect with 20, 30 at a time. And then, not all of them are going to accept right away. It's going to take a while for that to all feed. So then tomorrow do the same thing, and the next day. Imagine when that event or whatever it is that you're doing in those 2 to 6 months happens. Now you can go back to your LinkedIn connections, go back to that search. Now you're going to search for first degree connections that fit that criteria. And you're going to go back to them and say, hey, Joe, we've been connected here for a couple months. I haven't really had time to get to know you, but you know what? I'm speaking at an event in your area that you might be interested in. And I'd love to get a chance to meet you. Maybe we can have a cup of coffee. Are you interested? I can get you a free ticket.
That's
right?
fantastic.
Right?
I love that.
So it's not like you did it the day after, but you're filling now you're filling your event, you're filling the room, or you're filling whatever it is you're doing full of people that are kind of warm connections. And that works like a charm. I mean, it sounds easy, but that's because it is easy.
Oh, wow. So I remember that you said, go to the search button. There's an area where you can search, and you can put categories and even demographics, right?
Yep.
You can actually
Yep.
put, like if you wanted New Jersey or New York or...
Yep, geographic, demographic. Can't do much with psychographic on LinkedIn because you'd have to be sort of creative. For example, it doesn't tell you whether they're men or women. Right. So you can't search by like only women business owners or whatever, but maybe you can be creative and go to a group that's women business owners of New Jersey. And now most of the people in that group are going to be women, right? And then from there, you can drill down the search. So there's ways that you can do it to kind of beat the LinkedIn search things. You have to be creative to do that. But initially, just go with the initial, what they've got available to you. See how close you can get to the ideal connections that you want that's going to blow up your business, and just start connecting with them. And, beyond that, and we'll talk about that, I think, but beyond that, you definitely want to do more than just connect, but just start connecting. So a year from now, you're going to have a LinkedIn network that is full of people that are potential buyers, or potential people that would hire you, or people that can partner with you, right? Sometimes it's not about getting a client, it's about getting a partner.
Right. That is amazing. I mean, if you didn't get anything else, this was like just golden, to be able to know who to target, how to communicate with them in a general way that allows you to hopefully they'll say accept your invitation, and then every time you post, that person gets to see who you are, and then you send out messages of things that this is what you specialize in, and hopefully you have a networking event, or you're speaking at an event, and you can say, hey, I thought that this would be a great thing for you to join me. It's phenomenal. It's so smooth and
it
so
works
professional.
So well. And I did this. I was speaking at an event in Portland, Oregon, about a month ago, and I hadn't had time really ahead of time to do that because it was kind of a last minute thing. So I just went to my LinkedIn connections. I sorted it by Oregon, and I just reached out to, there was maybe 15 people. And of those 15, maybe only 10 really were people that I thought would be a good opportunity to meet with them. And I did that. I just said, I'm going to be speaking at this event. Have you familiar with this event? I've got some comp tickets, because often if you're a speaker, you get comp tickets. I've got some comp tickets if you want, and I'd love to meet you. Mm-hmm. I had 3 people out of the 10 show up, and another 3 people out of the 10 say, let's have dinner. Let's get together. Let me show you around Portland.
Oh my goodness.
Right? It was so fun. So think about that. Even if you're just going on vacation, right? Who are you, who do you know? And that, by the way, those are people that can bring you business in some way, shape, or form. Because now they're colleagues. They're not just network connections. Yeah. Now they're colleagues, and they've gotten to know you, and it's so powerful. It's so powerful.
It's like a farmer. Every time you speak, it makes me feel like a farmer who plants the land and and puts the seed and keeps watering, and eventually there are fruits, and just like any relationship.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
You've got to do that front end stuff to have it filter out of the back end. And a lot of people go to social media and they're like, well, I have 100,000 followers. Why don't I have any business? Well, because you're not nurturing them. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're not nurturing them. You gotta nurture them and really build relationships with people in some fashion.
Yeah, and target audience, knowing your audience. We've talked about this. We talked about small business, and knowing your audience is important. But to be able to do it in such a way that it filters for you. I mean, listen, we've been marketing for years, and as you know, in the past, that was impossible to do. Yeah. You put out a newspaper or a TV commercial, or you were on the radio, you didn't know who was listening to you. But to have this tool now, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn, to be able to target that specific client with a demographic, boy, that's...
Yep, exactly. And there's so much that can happen beyond that. There's LinkedIn targeting, there's LinkedIn advertising. That's all the stuff we don't have time to talk about today. But there's so much more you can do. And if you're confident that you've done the work right on the front end, then you can be confident that you can just filter to phone calls and things like that on the back end. And chances are they're going to be valuable to you because you've done that work on the front end. If they're not, then you got to go back and do some tweaking, right? Because this doesn't happen you have to mess with it a little bit sometimes, But, so beyond that connection request, what I want to see you do is literally put together some kind of a process to get a percentage of those people actually on the phone. And not on the phone like, let me tell you what I can do for you.
No.
Like on the phone, like, let's have a collaboration conversation. How can we collaborate? And maybe they'll be like, I don't know, how can we collaborate? I'm like, I don't know either, but let's talk and see what we can come up with. You know, like, I mean, just sitting here with Esther, I'm sure Esther has small business clients. I have small business clients. We can have a conversation about collaboration, right? It doesn't, if you give me 10 people, I can find something you can collaborate with them on. And often what happens is they'll be like, you know what, I'm not really sure that I can do anything for you right now, but I really want to introduce you to my brother Joe.
Right.
Now you've got that warm introduction to maybe one of your hottest leads you've ever had.
That is true. Absolutely.
So you have to be welcome. You have to be open to getting on the phone and open to where those conversations are going.
So today we're talking about LinkedIn and how to put that professional page, how to attract, how to make sure people are finding you. How do you find that target audience? It's Karen Yankovich. She's an expert at LinkedIn. She's called an evangelist, but she also has other stuff like the podcast.
I do.
You know, Good Girls Get Rich.
Yeah, so you were talking earlier about how hard women have a hard time kind of stepping into the role. And what I really love is to inspire women and men, but I am a woman, and so I get it from a woman's perspective. And it's women that often need a little bit of the kick in the pants, but to really own what they love to do. First of all, identify what you love to do. What is it that you can do even if nobody's paying you? What can you talk about even if no one's paying you? And how can you monetize that? And now you've got tons and tons and tons of free tools to help you do that. And then how can you own it as a good girl, as somebody that's good at what they do? How do you now monetize that? And so I'd love to invite everybody to check out Good Girls Get Rich on my podcast. You go to goodgirlsgetrich.com, take you right to iTunes and show you how to do that. Or if you go to my website, KarenYankovich.com/podcast, you can get all the episodes there as well.
Fantastic.
So fun. It's brand new. It's only about, I think episode 8 came out this week.
That's awesome. So. If you have any questions, please feel free to type. We're live, and so we can answer anything. Or if not, later on, we'll make sure that we answer your questions. Tell us one more thing that you can share with us about LinkedIn. I know you have a lot. But
yeah, here's what I'm going to say, too, about LinkedIn. It is so powerful. What I want you to do is also don't be afraid to look at their premium services. And because they are not inexpensive, it's like, I think it's $80 a month. I'm a huge fan of Sales Navigator. And the reason I'm a huge fan of Sales Navigator is because all that searching and targeting I said you could do, it narrows it down even further.
Wow.
You can narrow it down even further. And then there's one little button on Sales Navigator that makes it worth $80 a month. And that is, once you come up with your search, you can now narrow it down by people that have been active on LinkedIn in the last 30 days.
Oh.
So if your search was 1,000, that'll take it down to maybe 150. But now you're working with 150 active users, so you are maximizing your time. I don't want you to spend a ton of time on this. I don't want you to be reaching out to me going, I connected with 2,000 people and only 200 connected back with me, right? So how much time did that take? So don't be afraid to invest in things like Sales Navigator, because this is your business. This is the marketing of your business. It is. Look at it as the time it saves you and how you can maximize your time and your efforts to really kind of blow this up even more quickly and more powerfully.
That's awesome. I know this was of great information. And if you missed any of it live, it stays on Facebook for the next couple of months. This is very, very good information for those that are struggling. I still am working on how to revamp my messages and my experiences and what we offer. Then you get stuck on making it perfect, right?
I know. Well, that's why. So what Esther was talking about is I also have if you go to linkeduprevolution.com, I have a free 21-day LinkedIn challenge. But what's good about the challenge, among the fact that I think it's a good challenge, there's a Facebook group that supports it. So if you join the Facebook group and you're stuck or you're getting worried about being perfect, you can come into the Facebook group and just tag me in it and say, check out my headline. What do you think? Or I'm stuck on my summary. Can I get some support? And I'm in that group every single day helping people. And that is completely free.
That's fantastic. So she's a giver, a great giver, because you're giving great information for opportunity to grow. So you're a professional. You're a small business owner. You're not sure how to use LinkedIn. Karen Yankovich is an expert. Please reach out to her. We have her website. We have her goodgirlsgetrich.com. Also, reach out to someone that is an expert, and I highly recommend Karen. I loved you when I saw you speaking. Not only you're engaging, you're full of knowledge, and she's energetic just like me.
I know. This has been fun. This has been a lot of fun. Feel free to connect with me. I would love to, and connect with me on LinkedIn. Let me know you saw me here, and I'm happy to take a look at your profile if you want.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you
very
so much
welcome.
for being with us. So this is Esther Tanez with the Journey of an Entrepreneur. This is being sponsored by Esther Inc. Insurance Agency, your local independent agency. We are here to serve and give back to community with giving information. I know that this was very helpful. Please reach out to Karen if you need more. I know you need a lot more advice. Don't forget to hit like, share, send us question, and check out Karen Yankovich LinkedIn page. Have a fantastic day.